Man, as I pull into this parking lot, I see a bunch of kids. Oh man, am I going to be the oldest in this class? Clinical people looking at me all funny. I'm going to feel out of place. As I walk into the room, I'm looking at the 9 other medics, and I see a lot of gray. I'm 48 years old, but I'm definitely not the oldest. Welcome to my podcast. Nursing is my fourth career. I spent 10 years in the U.S. Army. I was a paratrooper on Fort Bragg. I had a sales career for 14 years, a successful one at that. I led a national sales team. My third career, I've been a paramedic for 7 years. That's 31 years in the game, not to mention odd jobs that I've worked. The thought of a classroom just intimidated me, but seeing all that gray made me feel at home. Oh, the LPN class was pretty mature as well. The traditional class had a few younger ones, but the average age was around 25 and 30. Oh, they had LPNs and medics too. So the first semester, there was 10 of us medics. We were in the class together. The second semester, we merged in with the LPNs. So that made us about a class of 20. The LPNs had the same track that we had as well. The third semester, we merged in with the traditional class, which means that we was all together, and that made us about 40. But from day one, we all did our clinicals together. But I noticed the different backgrounds. We had respiratory therapists, teachers, medics, you name it. But what kind of blew me away was my new grad orientation in my first job. Most of us was 30 or older in our second, third, and fourth career. It was not uncommon to see a 50-year-old new grad. But to me, older nurses, being an older new grad or an older nurse has its advantage. Let me explain. Number one, you bring life experience. Let's say you spent 12 years as a teacher in the classroom. That experience makes you, number one, a better preceptor, but even more, it puts you on track to become a nurse educator. For me, for an example, my experience translated well into nursing. Coming from a sales and marketing background and leading a sales team, keep in mind, at one point in my career, I was the number 2 trainer in my company. There was only one other trainer that was able to train people to make more sales than I did. Now keep that in mind. So when I came to nursing, the idea of training is just natural for me. I mean, look at this podcast. Number 2, the maturity. You're just not intimidated by the scrunchy mafia. Yeah, I'm just saying that in a funny way, but you carry a maturity about you. Number 3, just a natural leader. Younger nurses tend to look for advice and look for direction from an older nurse. I became a charge nurse after 1 year of experience. Why? Because I had leadership experience. I led a national sales team, and I had military leadership experience. So you'll find that there's a place for you. And there's a lot of options, whether if you want to work remote from your home or inpatient, primary care or acute care, local or travel, critical care or public health, maybe school nurse or diabetes educator, maybe case manager or utilization manager, infection control or occupational health nurse. You decide. Don't get intimidated by your age. We need you in nursing because we need your experience. All right, guys, I see you after NCLEX. Take care.